Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. This time, it is at 1080p because I upgraded the streaming service. I really liked it last time, so I decided to go with this instead of the one I was using before. But this time, it's 1080p, so no more blurry visuals for you. But also, mic check. Do I sound good? Do I sound loud and clear? Let me know in the chat, please. I am streaming live to both YouTube and to X. So if y'all can hear me loud and clear, let me know. So as always, I am streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 noon Eastern. Today is Wednesday. Next one is on Friday. So I'd love for you to join me 3 times a week. For those watching this VOD afterwards, I will leave timestamps for you so you can skip around. But we have a banger of a stream coming up, so I definitely think y'all should watch the entire thing. And also, as always, goal is 100 likes on this stream. If you don't mind liking, if you like this as I'm kind of presenting it, and also if you're watching it after the fact, then would really like for you to help me out by trying to get to 100 likes on the stream. And the last thing is there's going to be a special guest later on in the stream. It's going to be a banger, and there's going to be a giveaway involved specifically for the retail DAO community, which I've told you about many times already. But before we get to all that, let's start with a quick market pulse. And we're definitely going to talk about the big, beautiful news of the day, which is JPow potentially getting removed. We're going to talk about that too. But first, a quick market pulse. We always got to start and get us grounded by a quick market pulse. So, one sec. Let's check this out. Let's screen share. So Bitcoin has been going up a little bit. Still choppy, of course. Still choppy. And the rest of the market, ETH has been absolutely dominating, which is why for the main segment of this show, we're going to talk all about ETH's absolute domination, dominating BTC, dominating Sol, dominating almost everything, essentially. Heck, even dominating Hype. I wish Hype would start moving some more. I know I got to be patient there, but yeah. Oh, wait, I gotta move it to here. Okay, my bad. My bad. This is better. Let's see the chat too. No, it's a different guest. The founder. ETH 5K soon. Yeah, potentially. How long do I do these streams for? 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour. Yeah, I did it this way. This is better. Okay, Fear and Greed at... Wait, let me do this. Fear and Greed at 70. Yeah, that seems about accurate. It's been greed for several weeks now, so something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at Bitcoin ETFs. Still a lot of inflows here, which is strong for sustained price action. And then this hyperliquid long short. Oh my goodness, so many longs. This is honestly unsustainable in my opinion. Look at this long short ratio on hyperliquid. Everyone is long right now. There we go. You can see it there. Or if you prefer, like this. Maybe this is better so you can see more of the hype. Hype just needs to cool down, and it's still near all-time highs. Don't forget, all-time highs is 49 something, and it's currently like 47.50, so it's still close to all-time highs. But there's a lot of longs compared to shorts, and that's usually dangerous. Another thing to check out is this. Oh my goodness. This price action has really kind of liquidated a lot of the shorts, and even there's not even that many. I guess there's a lot of longs at 115 that it could potentially go try to liquidate, but we shall see. We shall see. So that's a really quick market pulse segment, because what I really want to talk about now is the big beautiful news segment. JPow getting removed. This is really breaking news. Okay, so stay tuned. Check this out. Check this out. This was so recent. White House official says President Powell is likely to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell. President Trump has been calling for lower rates, but Jay Powell hasn't wanted to lower the rates, because all these assets are all-time high. So what's the rush, right? What's the rush? Chat, let me know what you think. I think personally, Jay Powell has done a decent job. And this is even more recently. He has drafted a letter to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. But remember, this is legally debatable because the Fed chair can only be fired for cause. And that is said in the legal realm as like gross negligence or like doing something really unethical or illegal, which Jay Powell hasn't done, right? But check this out. Oh my goodness, this is so volatile. Will Trump try to fire Powell by August 31st? Look at this. It went up to over 50% and now down. This is Polymarket, by the way. And now down to like 20%. Wow, this is so volatile. What do y'all think, chat? Do you think he's gonna fire Powell or no? Here is some analysis by some traders or some analysts I trust. If Trump were to fire Powell, equities down, then up, crypto down, then up much more, gold higher, short-term rates lower, long end rates higher. And then this guy says, another analyst I respect, short bonds, short dollars, buy gold, buy Bitcoin, neutral equities if this happens. If this happens. I was saying I don't think that this would happen. Like I wrote right here, I doubt this happens, but we'll see. But if it happens, I think I would left curve this in terms of that meme, left curve IQ meme. I would left curve this. I think if he fires Powell and cuts rates when everything's at all-time highs, we're going to rocket so much higher. Now, do I think that is going to be good for the economy? No, because assets are already so high, and then cut rates going to go even higher. Inflation's going to come back. They're going to be forced to raise rates. It's going to be a huge mess. Economy is going to suck because of it. I mean, sure, we'd be happy that our coins, our imaginary internet coins, magic internet money goes up, right? But long term for the economy, I think this is going to be disastrous. I think bullish in the short to midterm, things are going to melt up, in my opinion. But then there's going to be a major crack in the economy, in my honest opinion. I'm curious to hear. Yeah. But anyways, that is the big, beautiful news segment. And one sec. Now I want to move on to our main segment of the day. Why is ETH beating BTC so badly lately? First of all, let's look at some charts. Let's look at some charts. Let me share my screen. So this is in the weekly. Let's do the daily. Look at this breakout. This was such a convincing breakout of this line right here. So ETH BTC is showing breakout, but not only that, check this out. This is crazy. Sol ETH. Oh my goodness. Sol ETH is like, can it go lower? Could it go here? Or even here? I think like Sol ETH is cooked. Like ETH has all the drivers and all the narrative and all the momentum right now. I think Sol ETH is cooked. Like, how far can this go, right? I'd so much rather hold ETH than Sol right now. That's crazy. Well, people were saying potentially Secretary Bessent, who would instill Trump's agenda, right? Not yet, but if they lower rates significantly when assets are at all-time high, we will be in the banana zone. If they cut rates as much as Trump wants and Powell indeed is removed, then yes, I do believe that ETH can surpass its all-time high. Yeah, Sol. No, I think Sol can go all-time high in dollar terms, but not in ETH or BTC terms for this cycle. I'm pretty confident about that. But then again, I'm wrong on a lot of stuff. I mean, ETH could go to new all-time highs if they cut rates like crazy, you know? Yes, that's the point. We've been missing out on a true alt season because ETH has been struggling for so long. Like, look at this. ETH BTC has been struggling for so long. Oh my goodness. And now finally, after potentially breaking out here, can we have a true alt season now? Pretty please? Yeah, maybe I should be buying a lot of ETH as possible. I bought a lot of hype, but hype hasn't been doing stuff in the past week or so. Let's see. Okay, but let's talk about why ETH is outperforming, okay? Because it's not just like voodoo magic. I'll show you guys why. Okay. First of all, this is from another stream. Bro, you are jumping the gun. You are jumping the gun. We're going to get to that. So, first of all, that whale, the Bitcoin OG whale, has been selling a lot. So that's a lot of sell pressure on BTC. And also, in the meantime, people are buying ETH. Sharplink Gaming is now the top holder, the single largest corporate holder, and they hold more than the Ethereum Foundation. SharpLink Gaming, that's SBET. That was such a big mistake. I was so impatient, guys. Look at this. I bought this. Remember, I bought this at 12. It's up 3x, but I sold it at break even because I was impatient, and I bought Galaxy instead. I messed up. I mean, Galaxy's up, that's good, but SBET is destroying Galaxy in recent performance. I should have been more patient. We all make mistakes. I'm not a perfect trader, nor are any of y'all, right? And then check this out. Joe Lubin really disappeared from socials and stayed behind the scenes, and then suddenly comes back and buys 1 billion in ETH in a few weeks and kickstarts the broader ETH treasury boom. Absolute legend. Joseph Lubin. He's the CEO of Consensus, MetaMask, you know that stuff, co-founder of Ethereum. Check this out. The ETH relative strength right now is impressive. Still think this has more to do with renewed conviction in Ethereum's commitment to winning and deepening relationships with capital allocators. Good work, Ethereum Joseph, Vivek Ventures, who's of Etherealize, and others. Remember, Etherealize is like the de facto, like number 2 Ethereum foundation. They're focused on institutions. They're like number 2 to the Ethereum foundation. They are huge. They are so important to this renaissance. Check this out. The relative TradFi interest in BTC and ETH, completely different picture. BTC CME open interest minus 30% from Q4 peak. ETH CME open interest plus 50%. Tom Lee might be the king of KOLs. Look, there's a lot of KOLs on crypto Twitter and YouTube even. We're nothing. Wall Street doesn't watch this show. Wall Street doesn't listen to crypto Twitter. They listen to CNBC and Tom Lee, a respected fund strat analyst and whatnot. What do you mean I messed up on Circle? I had puts on Circle. You think I should keep the puts or what? I had puts on Circle near the top. Yeah, the treasury coin is a big part of this. But we have more to check out. Here's a good summary. Everyone is turning bullish on ETH. We have both Bitminer, led by Tom Lee, and Sharpling Gaming, led by Joseph Lubin, buying billions and billions of dollars worth of ETH. We have Vivek Venture, Danny Ryan, pushing ETH thesis into TradFi circles with Etherealize. We have Robinhood app launching tokenized stocks on Arbitrum with the intention of building their own L2 orbit chain. Like, don't listen to CT shitting on ETH. Okay, ETH will keep pushing forward. I am now more bullish on ETH than I have been in like 2 years. Love him or hate him, the Treasury org dynamics, stablecoin mania, regulatory easing, and coming tokenization manias are undeniably bullish catalysts for ETH, especially alongside its existing ETFs. Betting against ETH right now might be dangerous to your mental and financial health. I think I'm going to buy some ETH actually, like soon. Some more ETH. And the regulatory stuff is big because for a long time, like the SEC was going after Ethereum researchers and stuff.
Reclassified.
Like, listen to this.
Stepped away on Friday.
Can y'all hear this, by the way? Let me know in chat if y'all can hear this clip. When I play this, I just played it for a second, but let me know if we can hear it, and I'll play it a little bit longer. Sol will flip ETH. I honestly doubt it. I mean, XRP flipped ETH, but it pulled back. Not for the long term. I don't think Sol will beat ETH. The NAV rate on this ETH treasury stock is outrageous. Yeah, that's why maybe better just to buy ETH by itself, even though SBET has a lot of room to run, and it's like a smaller altcoin. It's a beta play, right? Okay, let's listen to this.
I stepped away on Friday, and on Sunday, the SEC served me.
It appears that they had decided to secretly reclassify Ether as a security. They were trying to pin it on essentially people who were responsible for the merge. So they're trying to pin.
So yeah, the point is all this regulatory changes is huge as well. Here's some more bullish thesis for y'all. ETH ETF saw over 1 billion in net inflows. Sharplink Gaming overtook Ethereum Foundation. ETH Foundation is paper hand dumper, so it's good that Sharplink Gaming diamond hands it instead, you know. Bank of America launched a new digital assets publication on chain. Tom Lee's BitMine now holds 500 mil in ETH, etc., etc. Bullish thesis. Look at this beautiful ETH. Even Fidelity's report is saying Ether can serve as medium of exchange and store of value. This is huge. Huge to think of ETH as a store of value, especially in Wall Street circles. Screw what we think, right? Also, ETH is fundamentally sound. Daily transactions are on the up and up. Validator count and staked ETH is hitting all-time highs. ETH is fundamentally sound right now. And then also check this out. The whale signal, ETH whales are accumulating like crazy. Look at these spikes. The whales who are smarter than us, they know stuff behind the scenes. They're better capital allocators. They are buying like crazy right now. Nah, I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. I like Hype a lot. I like Soul too, but I don't think they will flip those. Very long term, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I honestly doubt it. Hey, if retail gets to 10 mil, then Big Get Better list us, right? But anyhow, back to the theme. We have more to talk about on this topic. We have a lot more to talk about. Check out these predictions are about to blow your mind. You guys better hold on to your seats. Let's see, one sec. Okay, predictions. Time for predictions. Crypto Kaleo is calling God Candle to 4K this week. Ooh, this is making me injecting my veins. This is injecting my veins with bullishness. Check out this bet. Kyle Samani, the managing partner of Multicoin Capital, he's long been a bull of Sol and hater of ETH. This guy, Tom Dunleavy, bet him that ETH will hit 10K by the end of 2026. He bet 3-1 odds for Kyle. And I bet, okay, first of all, I said that I don't think ETH will hit 10K by the end of 2026, but maybe if Jerome Powell gets fired and Besant comes in at lower rates, then it could happen. But anyhow, I said I bet that the loser of this deal chickens out and doesn't end up paying. I would be willing to bet someone that the loser doesn't pay. Like, no joke. So many people make bets and they chicken out. Like, people made Eric Wall bets about Pulse Chain and Hex. He won. They never paid. They chickened out, which is disgusting. He didn't join yet. And right after this segment, he'll join. I don't think so, but if they lower rates aggressively, then yes, I do think so. Yeah, I should add him to the KOL tracker for sure. One sec. We're not done yet. We will have a special guest real soon, but we're still... Look, check this out. Wolf said that ETH could pull a 2019 Tesla and that Tom Lee knows. Look at this chart, dude. That would be insane. That would be the God candle for ETH. That'd be... Okay, no way it's going to like 30K, but you get the idea. And Tom Lee even wrote, this is like Wall Street's top KOL. Look, he goes on CNBC and tells them how stablecoins and are beneficial for ETH. He's writing all these threads on X. Tom Lee is a better KOL for Wall Street than anyone else. Income Shark, who I trust and respect a lot, is saying, oh my goodness, guys, do y'all feel the bullish? Are y'all going to buy some ETH? Look at this bullishness. Best looking charts is ETH. I'm going to buy some ETH. Should I sell some hype and buy some ETH? Nah, I don't think I want to sell my hype. But this is big. Yeah, I think people are reaching. I agree, Maverick. But check this out. Income Shark said he believes ETH will perform the S&P 500 this year, even with it currently being down 22% year to date. Now it's only down 7%, and it may not sound as crazy of a prediction. Income Sharks, I highly respect. There's a good Coin Mamba. This guy's famous for the SPF thing. There's a good chance the cycle will end with ETH market cap being very close to Bitcoin 1. We can already see Wall Street waking up to the idea that Ethereum is Bitcoin 2.0. I don't think they are reaching. They are reaching for sure. Just like people be reaching, like Maverick said. I agree. I just want to show y'all some of the predictions here, though. Suzu said, real bull market doesn't even begin until ETH all-time high. And I said, remember before, maybe I'm wrong. I said ETH will not reach new all-time highs this cycle. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I don't claim to be Nostradamus, folks. No one is. No one that y'all ever follow or watch on Crypto X, on YouTube, on wherever, on CNBC. No one is always right. Okay, I may be wrong. So check this out. You're about to see how ETH domination feels. That would be a true bull market in alt season if ETH continues to dominate for a sustained period of time. And I already showed you this. Sol ETH looks cooked for the cycle. I strongly believe that both Sol ETH and Sol Bitcoin may be the top end for this cycle. And ETH is still focused on like cutting edge tech, right? Like ZK and things like that. Okay. Let me stop screen sharing and a special guest segment. Okay, one sec. Okay, sorry, one sec, folks. We're having a special guest. It's going to be awesome to hear his thoughts on everything that we just talked about and more. And more. Okay, just waiting a sec. But I'm going to look at chat in the meantime. Let's see. Hype 100x better. Okay. Hey, TG3, how's it going?
Hey, Kevin, what's going on, man? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Chat, also let me know, chat, if you can hear him well. I'm just gonna, we'll dive right in, but
All right.
Yeah, you sound loud and clear to me.
Perfect. Thanks for having me on. And
Yeah,
very
for sure.
interesting segment so far. Loving the market talk. It's been
a lot of hot
week.
takes too. And like I said, I don't claim to be Nostradamus or the best analyst in the world, but some interesting hot takes and You're about to find out soon. But can you hear him, guys? Maverick, can y'all hear him? And okay. So TG3, I'll just pass the mic to you. In terms of, can you give a quick overview about your project, your company, and just let's start there.
Yeah,
And your background as well.
Yeah, sure. I'm TG3. I'm the CEO of Sol Casino. We're the top licensed casino on Solana. We're founded in 2021. We support all major blockchains, meme coins, alts in the broader crypto ecosystem. Everything from Bitcoin, ETH, Hype, Solana, Ripple, Doge, Pepe. You can gamble with all these, and you can do a lot more on our platform as well. We have something like 5,000 slots, live dealer games, loot boxes, full sports book, and we have a futures trading platform where you can long and short your favorite coins, your majors, alts, meme coins, with up to 1,000x leverage.
Actually, let me share my screen as well, just so they can see the website. Okay, I'm sharing my screen as well. Here we go. Yeah, so this is Sol Casino, everybody.io, and there's like sports betting too. And we're gonna announce a giveaway at the end of this segment. And there's trading and a lot of other stuff that TG3 just mentioned.
Absolutely, yeah, and something we do at Sol Casino, if you have ETH, you have Ripple, you have any of these coins, you place the bets in that token. If you win, you get that token back. So it's a pretty fun way to kind of increase your exposure in the crypto ecosystem. And then besides this platform, we also have NFTs. We have a native token, SCS. We're just coming off a 2-year run for the NFTs that we're receiving token emissions. That's concluded. We were very excited to give the entire token supply to our community. And we have a monthly burn for all house profit of our native token. And over the past 2 years, we've burned around 70% of the total token supply. So we love to burn tokens, and we're going to keep doing that. The NFTs can be used as rakeback on our platform, boosted rakeback, other community benefits. And SCS can provide additional rakeback through a bet to earn mechanic that we have on the site. And then you can also stake your SCS for around 30% APR. We pay that out in USDC.
Awesome.
So a bunch of stuff going on here. But we're always just looking towards kind of the future, seeing what we can build, see what exciting things we can offer, and just getting people to bet more.
You have a really interesting background. Can you share a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got into crypto around 2015. Was in law school at the time. Was really interested in just the cross-border payments, permissionless systems. So kind of dove in from there, and found NFTs when they started in, I guess, 2020, 2019, 2020. And then just kind of been along for the ride ever since. As I mentioned, I am an attorney outside of my kind of career in crypto, and I focus a lot on small business development, regulatory concerns, compliance, stuff like that for crypto companies.
That's super interesting that you are an attorney as well, like a crypto attorney, and you're building like a really degen crypto product at the same time. That's quite
absolutely.
the interesting background.
Absolutely. And, I guess it just comes down to me being a degen myself, regardless of the professional career. But I think, having this background, having that understanding of the legal landscape, I'm not Sol Casino's lawyer. We have a separate legal team for this, but it does help me with general compliance. I can help my staff, and I help kind of direct how our business is moving, and also towards the ever-changing regulatory environment that we're looking at globally for crypto. It's a very exciting time to be in the industry.
So you, with your very unique background, I would love to ask you about the broader markets and some things in particular in the markets. First of all, I have to ask you the breaking news of the day. Trump continuing to threaten to fire Jerome Powell, making even some new moves to do so. Prediction markets kind of going wild, like up and down on that. But what are your predictions here? Do you think he gets removed or he resigns before his term ends? Let's start there. Do you think that actually happens?
He doesn't strike me as a guy that would resign from external pressure. That being said, the presidential powers are very broad. See a lot of back and forth around, whether he can actually fire him or not, or whether he's just, bluffing or trying to put the pressure on. I think at the end of the day, Trump will get what he wants in this situation. And if that means getting rid of JPow and installing one of his own guys, I heard like Scott Bessent was
Yeah,
a
exactly.
candidate, and surely there's a few other candidates as well. I think at the end of the day, we're going to see kind of the end of JPow.
Yeah.
And, I'm not too sure how the market's going to react. I personally think it's going to be short-term pain, a little bit of overreaction. And then once things stabilize, I think we just keep chugging along.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if he gets what he wants and cuts rates aggressively, like they're saying like 100 basis point or something crazy, assets are already at all-time high. Like, do you think that's bad? Like, how do you think this plays out? Is there going to be like a massive kind of pump per se, and then something breaks in the broader economy? Like, what's your overall prediction there? Like,
Yeah.
let's say he gets what he wants, right?
Yeah, I do think we're going to see. I do think we see all kind of asset classes just reprice a little bit higher in the short term, and that might lead to some unfortunate consequences in other sectors. Like there's that meme, right, where it's like my internet coins are going up, but at what cost, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there's going to be a little bit of at what cost that might happen, but I'm bullish on the overall markets now. I think there hasn't been a better environment in a long time. And so, as long as they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's, I think we'll be all right.
Okay, so the kind of main segment of this stream was about ETH. ETH has been outperforming like crazy, BTC and Sol. You in the Solana ecosystem as a builder, so yeah, presumably you're bullish on Sol and whatnot. But can you speak a little bit about like what you think about the current market environment in terms of the interplay, ETH, BTC, Sol, whatever you want to talk about?
Absolutely. And those are my three big bags, like Bitcoin, ETH, Sol. I got some hype. But I think, I'm bullish on Ethereum. I think it's technically sound. The market is generally heating up. And in technology in general, peak hype is usually reached before peak value and peak utility. So I think the market is kind of rediscovering utility and yield rather than just hype. And that's why we're seeing things like Ethereum, Bitcoin, fundamentally sound tokens are getting repriced. And I do think that, like, I saw a comment in your stream about it being Bitcoin 2.0. I'm not sure if it's going to get close to Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin's kind of the golden asset that we have here.
Yeah.
But I do think eventually we're all going to be using blockchain tech in some way. I think most people won't even notice it. And the most likely candidates to host that background technology is going to be Ethereum and Solana, in my opinion.
Yeah, so obviously Solana, for the most part of this current cycle, however you want to define that period, has been the darling and the outperformer, right? But like it was a big benefit of the meme coin super cycle and whatnot, but that's kind of cooled down quite a bit. So what do you think about like narratives for Solana moving forward? Like what are you thinking could help it get that next win per se?
Yeah, I just think some of the fundamentals that it has, quick, cheap transaction cost, easy onboarding. I think these are two big ones. And it is really attractive to people who are trying to make quick plays. And as you referenced a couple minutes ago, the meme coin super cycle that happened on Solana, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people got burned. I don't think that is super sustainable as a value case, but seeing some of the other stuff the foundation is kind of rolling out, it's shaping up to be like a fun chain, and people love to have fun. That's the reason I got into crypto. It's the reason I'm on crypto Twitter. Just want to, and so I think that this is a good home for it.
Speaking of memes, there's like one of the other big news of the week was Pump Fun, right? Pump Fun's TGE and potential airdrop, et cetera, et cetera. And the interplay between Pump Fun and Sol, because Pump was a big reason why Sol like destroyed ETH for the first like half or 3/4 of the cycle, however you want to define it. But now people are saying that Pump Fun may be like pulling liquidity away from Sol and things like that. What are your thoughts on the interplay between these two projects?
Absolutely, and I think Pump is an incredible platform. They're very successful. I think they're here to stay, to the point where we're seeing tons of Pump Fund competitors pop up. I know Bonk has a competitor, and Jupiter and Meteor guys have a competitor. Um, all of this to say, if you have a profitable company and they're pulling liquidity, for example, I mean, that means they're doing something right. Everybody I talk to knows about Pump Fund. Even, my parents' friends ask me about Pump Fund, right?
Really?
So it
Wow.
seems,
Okay.
yeah. So it seems, and these guys are not, maybe they have some Coinbase bags, right? But they heard, oh, I want to launch my own coin, I'll use Pump Fund. So it's kind of turning into a pervasive narrative, and this is just good for market conversion. It's good for customer acquisition for the blockchain. And I think having a platform that's that successful, regardless of how much money they make, if you think they dump, they sell, whatever, the amount of people that they bring into the ecosystem and expose to the other parts of the ecosystem is an inherently good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I want to move on a bit because you said you are like a lawyer in this space, or you have a legal background in the space. And this week is crypto week in the US, in DC and whatnot.
Yep.
I don't think we need to necessarily dive into each one like specifically, but can you share your overall thoughts on like how this is going to play out and what this means for our industry?
Yeah, absolutely. And happy crypto week. Exciting times here, especially if you're tapped in from the legal point of view. It is kind of a make or break moment for the digital asset regulation in the United States. There's a few big ones that they're voting on. I think they had a preliminary vote yesterday. Then they got I think they're going to re-vote on that today. But I think this does a few big things for everybody in the crypto sphere. I think first it creates like a federal framework for stablecoin issuance. This just really sets up licensing for issuers, and requires mandatory audits and disclosures. It's to prevent another Terra Luna crash. I'm sure we were all there for that. And the other one that's I'm personally more excited about is the Clarity Act, which kind of ends the confusion between the SEC and the CFTC.
Right.
Who is the enforcement group here? It clarifies whether the token's a security or commodity. Previously they were doing the Howey test, which is a 100-year-old securities analysis that doesn't necessarily apply to today's broader ecosystem. And once that confusion is clear, and once there is a clear framework for deciding whether the token is a security or commodity, it's going to have huge downstream implications, for DeFi protocols, token issuancers, centralized exchanges. All these guys are going to see a huge boon, and more interest in their products. I think that's exciting. And I think if all of these bills kind of pass, it just will show that the United States is finally moving towards like a stable kind of pro-innovation environment,
Right.
from a regulatory perspective, and that just unlocks institutional adoption. It unlocks a lot of things around tokenized assets. So I think it's only going to be good for the ecosystem.
For sure. Actually, you know what? Before I move on to asking you about the Gamblify sector,
Sure.
I am curious. This is kind of more related to our previous conversation about the markets, but just a fun prediction, if you don't mind. Like, what do you personally predict is going to be the top for BTC this cycle?
Oh, see, I'm one of these guys that thinks Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million, but
This cycle, though,
I think this cycle will probably top. I mean, I'd like to see 180 to 220 in that range.
And roughly what time period are you thinking that's going to happen?
I'd say by middle end of next year, 2026.
Oh, 2026. Interesting.
Because I don't
more
think this
along the lines of this year, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think this site, like the days of having, especially with the adoption nowadays, the days of having multi-year kind of bear slumps and multi-year bull markets are in the past. I think we're going to see more cyclical, shorter term, like bear and bull markets.
For sure.
And yeah, I think it's just going to be a slow chop up.
That makes sense.
And the more that Bitcoin becomes part of the economy, I think the more stable and the higher it's going to get.
For sure. Now moving on. So GambleFi sector, Soul Casinos obviously in that sector, and just thinking about the past, like I've been in this space since 2017, 2018, and one of the earliest use cases for crypto was my buddies going on like random sports betting sites and using like Bitcoin to get in. But now this sector has evolved quite a bit. There's a lot more bigger players, polished players. But I'm curious what you think about like what's the future of the GambleFi sector and like what are you excited about?
Yeah, great questions. I'm super excited about the whole sector. I think, I mean, as we all know, like gambling is a huge market in general, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. People are gambling from their phones, gambling on Polymarket, on social stuff.
Polymarket's so fun.
Yeah, right.
So fun.
And people even say meme coin is like is the new way of is just gambling, right? So I think gambling is turning into a larger part of, or it always has been, and it's a growing part of our culture. But I do think like on-chain gambling is outpacing traditional platforms for a couple reasons. You know, users want instant settlement, they want transparency, they want control over their funds, and that's something that we strive to deliver at Soul Casino. You know, we settle in seconds. Everyone has their own wallets. Deposit, withdraw, instant. And then in GambleFi, you know, people aren't just placing bets. Like they're staking, they're earning, they're participating in governance. Really, they have shared upside with the casino itself. And introducing things like NFTs and tokens into the sector provides a use case that actually scales with the success of the business. And
yeah,
so I think we're going to start seeing some more of that stuff. And you know, even we're going to start seeing major players get into the crypto space. I mean, there's obviously stake is the biggest one right now.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be surprised in a few years if you'll see some of these, you know, Las Vegas casinos kind of get into the crypto game as well.
For sure. Awesome. Well, that's going to be interesting to check out. Thank you so much, TG3, on this. So just for the community, I'm going to announce this in the Retail DAO Discord, but we're going to do a 1K free bets giveaway. So that's for 20 people, $50 each worth of free bets. That's for sports bets, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to give out to the Retail DAO community as a thank you for
Yeah,
hosting me
actually,
on
I
this.
just did my own sports bet yesterday. I had to check on who won and what. Actually, no, let me check that right now.
No, yeah, the Grizzlies game, right? Summer League.
Warriors, Grizzlies, yeah. Wait. Oh, Warriors won. Hell yes.
Yeah, nice.
Hell yes. I got it. I won it. And if you win, you can withdraw just like no strings attached, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna be running that giveaway. Everyone who wants to participate, make sure you have a Soul Casino account.
Yeah, so I'm going to announce it in the Retail DAO Discord. It's going to be for pro and VIP members of Retail DAO. I'm going to do a raffle so it's more fair. And then 20 people will give me their Soul Casino usernames or whatnot. And I'll send that over to your team. And Dada is already a member there and he can answer questions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's our man he's gonna help everybody with questions. And you know, if you guys have anything else you want to ask, feel free to hit me up. I'm 0xTG3 on Twitter. Yeah, hit me up.
I'm so happy that oh yeah, let me pull that up for them actually. 0xTG3 TG3 right here. Let me share the screen so they can see. Share screen. Yeah, that's his X profile as well.
Yep. So just hit me up. My DMs are open. If anyone has any questions, happy to answer everything.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, really appreciate you having me on. Thanks a lot.
Okie dokie, guys. Really excited to do that giveaway for y'all. Like I said, free bets. If you win, you can fully withdraw, no strings attached, which is what we like. Now let's do a little bit of KOL call tracking because we just did a lot of stuff there. Share screen, KOL call tracking right here. So let's see. Okay, I want to add 3 things into the KOL call tracker. I want to add crypto Kaleo. What is this? 7. This is July 15th, 2025. ETH to 4K in God Candle this week. Dang, he could very well be wrong here. And I got to take a screenshot of this too. End of, what is it? What date would that be? July 20th. July 20th, TBD. That is a crazy. I'm going to screenshot this too so you can't delete it. Okay. Another one is this. This chart, 3-day pump. Let me just put it as he thinks it's going to go above 4K by end of September. Let me just put that. Income Sharks. Dang, this is really making me want to buy ETH like now. 7/15/2025. ETH to over 4K. End of September, TBD. Who's going to buy ETH because of these people? And then Coin Mamba. This is definitely not going to very good cycle will end. Okay. There's no way. I will be absolutely flabbergasted. 7/15/2025. ETH market cap to reach BTC market cap. When did he say though? End of this cycle. Okay, let's give him until end of 2026. Okay, give him plenty of time. Okay, so these are our KOL call tracking. And let's see if any. Dang, check this out. More ETH bullishness in my veins, guys. Bullishness in my veins about ETH. Folks, how many of y'all are going to buy ETH or have already been buying ETH? This is making me so bullish. Injecting the bullishness in my veins. I'm telling you. This is crazy. Let's see. What else? Ooh, here's a good one by Pentoshi. This is a swing trade call. Sold to over 191. Pentoshi. Let's see. When was this call? July 16th. Sold to 191. Above that to 220. Okay, let's give him end of August. TBD. Okay, let's see what other calls. ETH BTC. My realist opinion, ETH to remain an oscillator between 1.4 to 4K until Fed ends QT, cuts rates, starts mini QE. Oh, Trump on Powell, not wow, breaking news, not planning on doing anything. Okay. Okay, so okay, here's one last one. This one. Cole Garner. Let me take a screenshot. Cole Garner. What date is this? 7/16/2025. BTC to 150K. End of August. TBD. Can I say August? Yeah, maybe August or September. We'll give more time as needed. But been tracking this with y'all. Some rights, some wrongs. Long ETH. ETH about to explode. You know what? Maybe I even give them right. These two are probably right already, to be honest. Okay, some of these are wrong so far, but okay. And the last thing, retail DAO updates. By the way, you can join retail DAO here if you haven't already. So friendly reminder about the roadmap phase 2. You can check out the roadmap in our Discord. In the roadmap channel, phase 2 coming soon. And don't forget the giveaway. Also for pro and VIP members only. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, visit the site over there. It's just going to bring you to this page and give you everything you need to know. Link in the description. Everything you need to know to join. What is it? Why you should join? How to join? Etc. Etc. Pro and VIP members will get this raffle for the 20 people, $50 in free bets. If you win, you can withdraw, no strings attached. Yeah, Kyle and Poseidon got it right. For sure. So that's pretty much it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. The goal is 100 likes on the stream. If you don't mind giving me a quick like, would greatly appreciate it. Guess what? When am I going to see you next? Friday, 12 noon Eastern. Gonna be a banger of a stream. I really love doing this with y'all.